May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and as part of the SEL team, we wanted to talk about the importance of having qualified mental health professionals in schools, as well as introduce ourselves and explain our why.
Mental health and the work in general that we do is so important to me, not only because of the lived experience that I have of losing somebody very close to me by suicide, but also just I think that what we're doing is really helping to not only prevent these awful situations from happening, but we're really giving people the space to feel heard and feel validated, and this may be the first space that they've actually felt like they can have that. As we know, people come from different homes and different families and different environments, and I'm just super thankful to get to play a part and hopefully being a part of this kid's success story. And even the students that still continue to struggle, I really believe that we're planting seeds, and in time when that person maybe is in a place where they're more ready to make those changes in their life because they want to, not because anybody else wants them to, they may have more of those skills to be able to fall back onto.
I'm a military spouse. I understand how challenging it could be to be a part of a military family. I want to be the person on campus that students can turn to when they're struggling with transition and moving, feeling anxious because of a parent's deployment, or even more so when the parent returns and it's not the person that they remember because that person's dealing with PTSD. Military children serve too. I'm a social worker because their mental health matters.
I'm actually a type 1 diabetic, so I became a social worker to help kids who are not only struggling with their physical health, but also with their mental health, since both are correlated.
I grew up in a single-parent household, so I know just how important it is for children to build positive connections with caring adults outside of the family unit. I became a school social worker because I know just how important it is and how children need just that positive person to talk to.
We know the struggle is real. We know that the transition from teen to adult can be very difficult. There are many barriers. There's a lot to navigate. We have parent problems, family issues, peer pressure, self-image, relationships, drugs and alcohol. It's all hard to get through.
I know that for many of our students, the school environment is one of the few or only places where they can turn to a trusted adult to get support for their mental health challenges.
I was a child that was from a divorced family. Where I grew up at, it wasn't accepted, and I was kind of looked down upon. It would have been nice to know that I had somebody safe to talk to. Mental health is so important.
The reason why mental health is so important to me, and the reason why I got into this profession, is because I really didn't have a lot of adult support growing up. I really struggled with a lot of anxiety, a lot of self-doubt, and I really struggled in high school academically. And so when I think back, I really think if I had that safe, supportive, trusting person that I could go talk to and get support from, and that just someone that rooted for me, I think it would have made all the difference. And so that's why I do that every day.
Mental health matters because it saved my life to go to therapy. It also matters because I have students as young as kindergarten and first grade who have talked about suicide ideation. I've also had students who are in fifth grade that talk about self-harm. I believe the earlier we intervene, the more support we're going to be able to provide for these students, which is why we need more mental health providers in all school grade levels.
According to the CDC, 1 in 6 children between the ages of 2 and 8 have a mental, behavioral, or developmental disorder. In the elementary setting, I've supported students who have OCD, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, ODD, autism, and other mental health diagnoses that take away from their ability to focus solely on academics. In any given year, 1 in 5 children will have a seriously debilitating mental illness, and more than 50% of Americans will be diagnosed with a mental illness or disorder at some point in their lifetime. Around 10% of children have an ADHD diagnosis, while about 7% have diagnosed anxiety and 3% have diagnosed depression. And I want to stress that these numbers are only of those who have access to mental health resources and are officially diagnosed. I know firsthand from professional and personal experience that for many of our kids, school is their only safe place from the adversity and challenges that they're facing in the community, online, at home. With our expertise, students are more capable of developing social, emotional, and behavioral skills to manage their feelings and interpersonal relationships and overall academic achievement. We intervene with crisis prevention and response, substance abuse, school safety, trauma, advocating for our students, and connecting families to resources. It goes without saying that in the last year, we've had an increased understanding of the role mental health plays in our kids' functioning and the increased mental health needs of our students. For a lot of kids, we will be the only mental health professional and advocate that they have access to.